the reason the conversation has focused on rather superficial reforms rather than deep, thoroughgoing, long-term reconstruction is this more radical analysis, and the prescriptions that flow from it threaten the very interests which prospered during the previous unsustainable era, particularly in the financial sector, which was greatly swollen in the United States and also in Britain and a few other countries compared to the non-financial business sector. So it's not simply a matter of labor versus employers and labor share of the economy versus capital, but it's also sectors within the private community were distorted during the 30 years from Reagan roughly up until the crash of 2008. During that period, the financial sector, what's called the FIRE sector, finance, insurance, real estate, greatly expanded its share of the economy in the United States, and with it, its relative influence relative not only to ordinary working people, but also to the manufacturing sector, to the agricultural sector, to various non-financial businesses. And that's where the money was. It's where the money came to buy magazines and to fund television programs, and also to donate to politicians of both parties. Wall Street in the 1990s and the 2000s became much more important as a source of campaign contributions to both parties simultaneously, the Republicans and the Democrats. So it's not surprising that you would see very pro-Wall Street wings emerge at the same time in both national parties. Now, in the long run, if you believe that the finance sector's share of the economy is disproportionate, and a lot of it was based on an unsustainable bubble, based on asset values, which in the long run cannot be sustained, then over time, slowly and painfully, the financial share of economies like the United States will decline. The relative political influence, perhaps not of organized labor, but of non-financial business, is likely to grow again in the future. But we're very early in the stage of that process where the finance sector and the people who speak for it, which include politicians and prominent intellectuals and theorists, are still trying to promote an interpretation of the crisis that puts the financial elite in the best possible light rather than in the worst.